All right, we are gonna try yet another new thing here, evolving as we go, right? Um, maybe a week ago or so, I put a short video up of me just playing my acoustic guitar and singing the first song I ever wrote. It's called Empire. So I thought it might be neat to do a little kind of song exploder style exposition on that song and how it kind of came to be. Didn't start necessarily as an acoustic guitar song. It started as an idea and was really written inside Ableton Live with, keyboards and guitars and all kinds of things and lots of ideas and production ideas and mistakes and lots of things. So I thought I'd maybe share a few of those things with you. And let's see how that goes. So you'll take a look at the screen here. Giant rainbow of things here are all of the various tracks that went into making this. You can actually see over here that a lot of these, I think, actually ended up not being on in the final mix, but we'll kind of explore that together. So this is a song so first song I ever wrote. I thought, how am I gonna make sure that this song stays with me and really means something? And I thought, what better way of writing a song that kind of feels eternal than to do something that sort of speaks to the relationship with my wife. And so thinking about that, I kind of went back to we honeymooned in Rome, Italy, which is a city that I actually studied. I lived there for 4 or 5 months or so in the late 90s, mid 90s, something like that, studying architecture, and wanted to bring her back. We had just started dating when I was there, and so we kind of had the first 6 months or so of our relationship apart and long distance like that. And so we took our honeymoon there as well after we were married, and that was a pretty meaningful experience. So I kind of went back there, and so from a songwriting standpoint, it was kind of just trying to visualize a lot of like images of what Rome is about and those kinds of things, but also as it kind of compares to our relationship and where I hope it will go. So it's about building an empire, and so lyrically there's a lot of stuff going on there that relates to the parallels and metaphors of building an empire and growing a relationship. So there's that, and then there's also the music. First song I ever wrote, first song I ever really produced in digital format, first song I really released for anybody to hear, all kinds of things. So there's a lot going on here, and I think that's probably, so this is kind of fun, Song Exploder style, to kind of look back at the file that this thing started with, and to kind of go back, because just looking at the file itself, I can kind of see some insecurities happening and lots of weird things. But so let's take a listen here a little bit. Start with the opening. The opening scene is kind of just builds up and kind of atmospheric thing. So, like if you'll hear. You hear stuff like that. Actually, it's sort of funny because we have this dog that I think when I am singing in my studio in the basement, he hears it and decides to bark. So I think most of my recorded tracks actually have dog barking in the background that you probably would never hear. Maybe you didn't notice it in that little snippet right there, but it's definitely dog barking in there. But so start from the beginning here and talk about that a little bit. So it's just a really simple song, kind of in A minor or C. So what's going on there? Got big kind of pad sound, got a nice little snare drum thing going. Let me see if I can figure out how to isolate these things nicely. So that's a little snare drum thing, just a programmed drum thing. You can, when you hear it isolated like that, you can really tell that it's just a sample that I was messing with. Nice bouncy bass thing happening. So nice little bouncy bass, and yeah, of course you hear that pad sounds really nice and fills up sets the whole vibe. So check this out. So, of course, I played that in, which experienced people will be able to tell that I did that due to the imprecision of all those notes hitting right on the beat. So obviously you can hear that the entire mix is running through a ton of delay. Listen to that again, and when I stop it, you'll hear how much delay is really happening. Stopped and it just trails off. So making it kind of dreamy, and that's really kind of what it was, is sort of a dreamy moment. Let's listen a little bit to the lead vocal all by itself. I'm shaking in my boots who knows how in key this actually sounds, but try this. Touchdown across an ocean, new beginnings in this ancient town. The weight of 2,000 years can't even start to hold us down. So that's a real delay-filled vocal as well. It probably speaks a little to my insecurities about getting things going here, and I was really trying to make a vibe, but also, when you first start writing music and recording and listening to your own voice and all these things, when you're the producer and the mixer, it can be interesting to try to figure out how to make music that you really like in spite of the fact that it's you singing it. So all these effects and things, which I'm really starting to get away from now that I'm 13, 14, 15 songs in. Really starting to get away from that because I think maybe I'm trusting it a little more, and maybe I'm used to hearing my own voice. But analyze it however you will. Do a little more of the vocal here, further down the song. Hot nights, funny days, I think I might catch fire. It's the chorus, hot nights and funny days. Honeymoon in Rome. Hot nights, funny days, I think I might catch fire. Hold on tight, don't lose sight. Gonna build an empire, build an empire. Ooh, I do. Some other things I was messing with. I was in kind of a telephone effect phase for a while. Let's see what this vocal telephone thing is doing kind of in the background.
Let's build an empire. Let's build an empire. Hot night. Funny day. Let's all go. Let's take it with me. Build an empire.
Let's see where that shows up.
Gonna build an empire, build an empire. Hot nights, funny days, think of where my catch fire. Hold on tight.
Hey, we're learning some things together on this one. I do remember recording that and putting that stuff in there, but it's subtle in the mix, and that makes it kind of fun. A little bit of discovery. So let's see what's going on with the electric guitar. I do remember this being a fun component here. I have an effects box, a multi-effects box called TC Helicon Voice Live 3, which is important for me in live performance. It does vocal effects and guitar effects and looping and all kinds of stuff. So I just, instead of trying to play directly into the box and do effects in the box and stuff, I thought maybe for this one I might want to just figure out what sound I'm doing and do it straight through the Voice Live 3 and then just bring it in. So that's definitely what I did here. Let's listen to a couple electric guitar tracks and see what's happening there. Sometimes you just gotta rock. Jeez. Let's listen to that in context. I did have some fun. Rocking out in the left ear and soloing in the other ear. That's pretty great. The chopper. Yes. The chopper was one of the drivers of a lot of the kind of early ideas about production. I had this really great effect on the Voice Live 3. Here, listen to this. Cool. The chopper. So that really sets up, you can listen to that back kind of at the beginning. That kind of sits in the background of all the falsetto vocal stuff. Right in here. There it is. Wow, good times. Trip down memory lane here. I wonder what this is. There is acoustic guitar in here. Here's acoustic guitar. See, there's a lot of people in music production that are extremely disciplined about coloring and labeling all their tracks and things, and clearly I don't have that. This acoustic guitar track, which appears to be maybe the only acoustic guitar track that is in this song, is called 21 audio, which just means it's the 21st audio track I created and never renamed, surrounded by acoustic tracks labeled acoustic guitar. But actually this is probably bounced down from these other two acoustic tracks to make one stereo track, so that's probably what this is. I have a very old laptop. It was old when I was recording this, and I'm still using it. I think this laptop is from 2010. So we're kind of just like riding the razor thin edge of having enough RAM and processing power to be able to deal with this stuff. So often I find myself having to consolidate tracks together, which is, there's a school of thought that says, like, once you have put an idea down, you might as well just kind of lock it in by making it an audio only signal, take the MIDI stuff out of it, take all of the automation out of it, and just put it down and live with it and move on. I just had to do that because I don't have enough processing power. Someday. So that's what that is. And what else do we have here? Got a sort of deeper bass thing happening, just weighing stuff down. It's not really moving things along so much, just kind of weighing things down. So check this out.
Down across an ocean.
For some reason, I put a reverb on that. God knows why. Right on the track too, which I don't do that anymore. Actually, because it tends to push things back in the mix. So I like to send things to auxiliary effects channels and things now. We learn as we go. We make stuff and we learn and we keep going. And then there's a separate programmed drum machine track in here that I can show you a little bit of as well. I'll solo that so you can hear what that pattern looks like. I like that. I made that. That's good. I think that little drum track is pretty cool. So shall we maybe now just listen to it in its entirety? Let me know if there's a part of this song that I sort of skipped and you didn't get to hear a story behind. But those are kind of the main components, and so let's listen to it from the top, and you can see for yourself. Please enjoy.
Across an ocean, new beginnings in this ancient town. The weight of 2,000 years can't even start to hold us down. Narrow streets we're walking on, surprises found at every turn. Join right in the dancing of the torchlight in us burn. Hot nights, funny days, think I might catch fire. Hold on tight, don't lose sight. Gonna build an empire, build an empire. I do.
So there you have it. There's a sample of it. If you like that, go look up Empire on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube, or the information's all at the end of this video, and see you again soon. Thanks.